What's going on? This is Coach D'Arm in Washington. Welcome to Coach Washington's Sports Talk. Today we're going to talk about parents and kids' behavior in the youth sports. Let's talk about it. I'm going to start with what I know, which is football. The culture of youth football, because my son played youth football, and it's kind of shaky out here with these parents. It's getting to be more violent. It seems like people ain't got the same type of moral standards as they used to back in the day. You got the parents pulling up, jumping out the car loud. They got that loud in there. I mean, you pull up in the parking lot, that's all you smell is that loud. Hell, they picking them up from middle school. You can smell the loud. Then you got coaches smoking the loud before games, right after games in the parking lot. I mean, people just don't keep their stuff to themselves and keep it personal. What you do is what you do. But everybody don't want to see people smoking the loud, man, or the vapes and all that. People don't want to see that. Some parents don't do drugs. Some people don't do drugs. They don't. So they don't want their kids around people who doing drugs. I mean, you at least back in the day, they would at least try to keep that to they self. That's a personal thing. Nowadays, coaches out there smoking weed before the game, after the game. Hell, on live, right there, blazing up, right in front of the kids, and that's a big problem. Just like keep your personal life away from the kids, man. Kids don't need to be seeing that, and kids not dumb. Hell, some of their parents are smoking, so they not dumb about what's going on. And then let's talk about like the aggressive level of the coaches with other coaches after the games, wanting to fight before the games. I'm all about talking some junk before the game now, getting your team hyped. But I think it's a certain level. But some of these coaches take it too far. They lose the game or something happened in the game. They ready to fight after the game. I seen that in tackle football. I seen that in 7-on-7. You beat a team, then they talking about let's put the pads on. Then all of a sudden the coaches are getting into it verbally. You could talk a little junk and have some fun, but now the coaches are getting into it verbally. Damn, they want to fight on the field in front of the kids. They be forgetting that you are a coach and you are in front of the kids out here. The kids is always watching you, bro. You have to be mindful of that. Even in middle school, parents be talking about, the kids playing time. Or I think he should be playing. Kid ain't never played football before. You put him in a couple minutes. They mad about the time he's had. They want to try to like cuss you out and check you over playing time. You got parents wanting to fight coaches over playing time. Their kids ain't getting enough playing time. Getting into physical altercations, and altercations of late have become people pulling out guns on coaches. I seen a podcast, a dude, he was a football coach, talking about, I guess he had said something to a little boy, maybe grab his face mask. The mom didn't have a problem. I guess his uncle had a problem. They come back, they get on his ass. They, at the field. So, with the violent nature in football, and all youth sports, I hear basketball, I can't talk about it, but I hear some of the kids watch trains with their parents just talk about things that don't happen in tournaments. Parents getting into it, parents talking to kids talking to parents in the stands, parents getting into it, parents getting into it with officials. I had a friend of mine, he told me they was in Atlanta at a tournament. The parents don't chase the official off the court into a room. Can you imagine seeing that? Parents chasing an official off the court and trapping them in the room. And it's getting to the point where people don't even want to officiate youth games anymore. It don't got dangerous. Very dangerous. You know, you got parents on coaches' ass about how they coach, but they don't never contribute to wanting to join the staff or taking a class or going to some coaching clinics and learning something. But they want to tell a coach how to coach a team, how much playing time little Johnny or James should get, what they should be playing. If not, they getting all aggressive with the coaches, wanting to fight the coaches. I believe in coaches should, protect yourself. Make sure you're able to go home. I remember my son played 7U. I used to leave middle school, come out there, and sometimes, man, you people just be out there, like I said, smoking, some aggressions, I used to keep my pocket knife on me at practice because I coached 10U. My son played 7. My team didn't really have a problem, but sometimes, man, it got a little rowdy. I keep a little pocket knife on me at practice and at the games too. At the end of the day, we coaches, we doing it for free, volunteer on the youth level. You got to get home. But parents just cutting the fool, man, just showing out in the stands, berating the coaches in the stands as if they could come and take the team and do much better. So we talking about the parents smoke weed, the aggressive nature of the parents. And then this stuff trickle down to the kids. Kids be misbehaving because what you talk about on the car ride home and at the dinner table can affect the kids. With you talking about, that coach can't coach and he don't know what he talking about, don't listen to him. Then he get in practice with that same type of philosophy. And I'm a parent and a coach. I've been on both sides. I had to check myself and my wife had to check me about. You got to catch yourself sometimes and just, because I'm a coach, then sometimes I'm a parent, but I coach too. So, you got to catch yourself in your bad behaviors and just sometimes, especially me being a coach, just shut up and just let them get coached and take the coaching. I don't have a problem with too much coaching. Sometimes when you see certain things, but hey, people can see that when I'm coaching. So just be quiet, let him play and enjoy himself and have fun. Enjoy himself and have fun and just enjoy the game or the whatever sport he's playing. But then that stuff like I said, it trickles down to kids. Kids bring that same nasty behavior to practice. And sometimes it's making kids uncoachable. They want to be coached, but they don't hear so much negativity in the cars, at the field, from their parents in the stands. It trickles down to them bringing that same behavior to practice. And at the end of the day, you're not going to be able to beat the coach, which meaning the coach controls all the playing time. You're not going to win. What you going to threaten him to put him in the game? If some people will probably try to fight you. But at the end of the day, the coach control playing time. He does. The coaches control all the playing time, so sometimes it's best just don't say nothing or to come at the coach a better way than all this aggressive nature. And then some organizations get bad raps because they got the pride that's coming with the winning. I like to win now. I like organizations that have pride. And when they come in, they're in the building. I like that. I grew up with that type of mentality when I played for PAL back in the day, PL South. So I understand that. But now people are doing it and it's just too aggressive. It's too aggressive. It's too aggressive. People in the stands fighting. A friend of mine in Durham talking about he was at his son's game. One of the parents and another parents, they fighting in the stands. He said they was sliding down the bleachers in a game. Could you imagine in the stands and you seeing two grown men sliding down the bleachers in the game? And it's happening in all sports. Baseball, they say baseball is the worst. Messing with the officials, talk junk to the officials. Basketball, I seen it in basketball somewhat, not in the AAU level, but I could see it in middle school with some of the parents cutting the food, talking junk about the coach. The team is 6-1, but you want to come over here and coach the team because you think you a better coach than the coach that's coaching the team, and ain't none of the girls playing really no AAU ball or getting no real training. They just playing middle school ball, and the coaches are coaching up what they got. But as a parent, you running around talking about, I'm going to be the coach next year. How? Who going to put you on staff? The same coaches that you talking about, you think they going to hire you to come on their staff? They already like 6-1. You got to be mindful of the things you say. So the culture in youth sports, it ain't just youth sports. It's middle school, high school. The culture in the youth sports it's getting worse. It's getting worse. And like I say, that comes from some coaches too. Coaches are part of the problem. The parents and the players, we just got to just tighten up. The organizations need to tighten up from the top to the bottom and remove some of the people. I mean, at some point, it's time for some people to go. They don't need to be coaching anymore out there with all the extras they bringing out here, because some people coaching football, they're really not coaches. They got other stuff going on. They bringing that lifestyle into the game, and man, it's about the kids and helping them grow and move on to the next level and get them prepared. So that culture, that's something I don't like about the culture of football. And then another thing I don't really like about the culture of football, people trying to get, a lot of coaches don't want to coach anymore. They don't want to coach. They want ready-made teams. Ready-made teams. They don't want to take the kids what they got, coach them up, learn them and teach them. They want these kids coming in ready-made players, and they just gonna have more athletes than you. They out-athleting you on the field. It ain't so much they coaching is good. It's just they got more talent than kids than everybody. You might got 10 on your team. He's sitting over there with 18. And, he's winning because he got more talent, not because he's coaching the kids up. So I see that's a bad thing in the culture. Coaches not really want to coach kids up. Everybody's recruiting. I believe in recruiting and getting better, trying to find better athletes. But at the same time, you got to coach them up and not run around here talking about you got the best team. It ain't because you. Believe that. It ain't because you. Because at the end of the day, the kids sometimes make the coaches look good. And it ain't because you coaching them up. It's because Lil Johnny got that thing inside of him that make him catch the ball and give a move and run for 80 yards down the field. It's something inside of him, not so much the coaching. I ain't hating. I'm just calling how I see it. Some people, they really not coaching up the kids. They just going to taking everybody else kids off their team, and they just assembling. They just got more bullets than everybody. And you can win like that until you face a team that got the same amount of good players as you, and it really comes down to your coaching. So that's part of the coach I don't like. The aggressive nature of the parents, the drug scene on at the field, the coaches with their attitudes. The kids are now being bad. Everybody's don't told Lil J, he's so good. Now he's 11, 12. You can't tell Lil J nothing. You can't tell him nothing. He needs work. Because when he leaves you, he got to go to high school. And as a good coach, he ain't going to be prepared. And a high school coach is not going to put up with his shenanigans or her shenanigans. They're not going to put up with it because there's a lot more Lil J's out there. There's a lot more Lil J's out there ready to go. Trained up, like I say, ready to go. They don't have to put up with his attitude. Or, his cockiness. You can't tell him nothing. You can't coach him. You got a scheme, and he out there playing rogue football because his uncle and daddy on the sideline giving him some other instructions, and we supposed to be in a cover 2, and they telling him to play man, and then the play don't got messed up, and then who's going to get the blame? The coach. The coach don't know what he doing. He calling the wrong defense. Not realizing, we in a scheme, and you don't told her, Johnny, play man on him. And we in the cover 2. He supposed to be playing cover 2. So we got to tighten up the culture in youth athletics. And another thing I seen in basketball, and I see this in basketball all the time. Me, I can take some blame on this myself. Trying to, you trying to motivate your kid from the sideline and, help them out. That ain't a good thing. Because, like I just said in football, you trying to help them out, give them some instruction, and then the coach got them doing something else. You ain't doing nothing but hurting them. So, you just got to shut up. I was proud of myself last week when my son played AAU. I had one moment. I was quiet the whole moment about his play. I had one moment where I told him to move. Then he said something to me, getting his feelings. They go down the court and come back, and what the coach yell out to him? Brandon, you got to move. But it was a better situation with him playing with me keeping my mouth shut. I could point the finger at myself because, hey, I'm human too. So I could point the finger at myself on, hey, shut the hell up, Dad, and just let them play. And I think that's going to be my thing moving forward, just taking my own advice, just sitting there letting them play and recording. Recording the games is the best thing to do to break some of these bad behaviors, because you cannot lie to the eye in the sky. You can't do that. You cannot lie to the eye in the sky, man. So we got to fix the youth culture with the bad behavior of everybody. We just got to clean up. Maybe we need to sit down with the organizations and we need to go through the rules a little bit more and have a big meeting like we used to do at Part 1 and just go over what's going to be acceptable and what's not acceptable. And if you can't stick to these rules, you're going to be put out the games, or your son is going to be out the organization and not playing. That's for coaches, parents, and athletes. We got to tighten up our sports, because at the same time, they're trying to get rid of the sports, especially football. That's what a lot of kids play. A lot of issues going on with insurance and stuff, not wanting to insure the sport. So we have to start paying attention to little things like that and tightening up ourselves, governing ourselves a little bit better, because people using facilities. You got to clean up the facilities. People using the facilities, renting the facilities, and then you come back out there, ain't nobody picked up the trash. That's part of the contract. You got to pick the trash up, or when you picking up trash, you seeing blunt paper and blunt insides everywhere. Finding that stuff on the ground. We're not supposed to be drinking at the games. That happens. But you at least got to put your stuff up. Can't be leaving beer bottles and cans in the parking lot. You got to be more mindful of what you're doing in the parking lot. Pick your stuff up. Then some organizations renting facilities, and at the end of the day, they don't want to clean up, and people don't lost good contracts over that. Or a school official was out there at the game and they don't like what they seeing in the crowd. It's getting a little bit too dangerous. And if something happens where the police is called, CMS is called, and they have to go to that field, believe me, that is marked. The principal gonna know about that Monday. Any police getting called to a CMS school, believe me, that principal gonna know that an incident occurred where police had to be called to their facilities. And then once the principal find out, because then you're going to lose your contract. You're going to lose your contract, and you're not going to have a place to play. So there's a lot of things got to be tightened up in youth athletics. Another thing I don't like, the behavior I don't like, this is a good one. Everything is not free. Free don't hold value. You got to pay to play. You got to pay your registration fees. I pay mine. You got to pay your registration fees in full and get them paid off. I know everybody's financial situation is a little different. But about time we get 6-7 games in, you need to have your bill paid. And we trying to go to states and regionals, and the team mom is sitting here talking about we still collecting dues. For who? Because we should be on to the fundraising. We should be fundraising by now. And that's a bad thing. People expecting everybody to give them something for free. I don't like that, man. Some people paying. People got different circumstances, and coaches get some scholarships that allow kids to play for free or half price or whatever you don't worked out. But take care of your bill. Because everybody else I'm taking care of mine. Take care of your bill. I don't like that when the team mom sending out notices, hey, we still got to collect bills, the funds, the play, and paperwork. Why you can't turn your paperwork in? Turn your paperwork in. We in the second game of the season. They still talking about we missing certain type of paperwork and the registration can't be complete. It ain't nothing but a birth certificate, a report card, and the application. So we got to do better. That's a bad thing too, because how you running your house if you can't even get your son paperwork turned in? They ain't asking for his social security number, a copy of his birth certificate, a report card, and get him a physical. Them the three main pieces of paperwork that got to be turned in for registration. These are the things that's killing youth sports. Parents can't turn the paperwork in, not getting the registration fee in. Coaches and parents smoking weed at the field, giving the kids bad instructions in the car and at the table about the coach, downgrading the coach, but yet they ain't applied the coach anywhere, took any classes. Then all that translate to the kid coming back with an attitude and a problem. My mama and my daddy this, and they just creating for a whole horrible culture of youth athletics. And then it goes on into the high school level too. I got some middle school kids. I tell them all the time, man, you're not going to make it. You're a great player. You're not going to make it with your attitude. Certain programs are not going to put up with your attitude. You just losing it. On the field, on the court, you just losing it. Just getting all emotional. And then showing out. Everybody ain't going to put up with that. Certain schools can handle it more than others, but most schools are not putting up with that. It's too many kids. You playing on a team with 30 kids when you get to high school, it's 40, 45, 50 kids on the football team. They ain't got time to be dealing with one crazy athlete. They can just get rid of them and move the next guy up. So we need to clear up youth athletics all the way around. From the coaches, the parents, and the players, and the organizations too. They got to start laying the hammer down and suspending some coaches, getting rid of some parents. If you got to, I hate to say it, sometimes certain kids can't play if it's going to be a problem for the team, or it's going to be a situation where people feel like their lives are going to be threatened, or something's, they don't feel safe because somebody, mom or uncle or brother, whoever, is always showing out at the field. Every time you turn around, they showing out at the field. Team moms too. I done seen a couple team moms in 7-on-7 and tackle talking, running their mouth, and almost don't set the whole thing off. I done seen one in 7-on-7. The team mom, she pregnant. They can't even hold her back. She trying to fight a coach. She is trying to get at the dude. She pregnant. They trying to tell her to stop. They calm her down. Then she running out there. Like she really want to fight this man, and you about 6 months pregnant. She showing. I don't seen some team moms almost set it off and tackle and 7-on-7. You gotta be more conscious of what you talking about. Watch who you saying, because everybody don't look at it the same way. You like to, get into it with people and talk loud, and they taking it serious and they ready to go do something. And then it's going to affect everybody. Somebody starts shooting at these fields. And then we don't have incidents in other states where people have shot at the field. Don't drop the book bag. The gun don't went off. Then you got the NFL guy to leave. His brother don't kill the guy on the field over nothing. Over a tackle youth football game that the kids won't even remember when they get to high school or college. They won't even remember some of these games. People bringing guns to the field. Who you gonna shoot? The kids? Because that's who out there. We out there for the kids. Why is you got the gun in the bag? Who you planning on killing? The coach? The kids? Because most people in there don't pay to get in there to watch these kids play. So it's about the kids at the end of the day. And that's one more other thing. Let's talk about the price of the games. Why is it costing $10 to $15 to watch our kids play sports? Why is it costing so much, man? I know the price rental of these fields now. It shouldn't be costing the parent. I get on parents about paying their registration, and people don't pay their registration, whether it's $250, $200. They don't pay their registration, and then she got them or the family got 3-4 kids, and you want to charge them about $30, $40 to watch their little kid play football. I don't see where people couldn't even come in the game. They ain't have enough funds to come in the game and watch their kid play because they charging the kids $5, adults $10, $15. That's like $40 just to come watch their little brother play. That's a bad thing in the culture too. The price of these games. It costs too much. Why are we charging so much for youth athletics? It don't cost that much. You're going to make your money, but you don't got to overcharge the parents. They already don't pay their registration fee that I was talking about. They should get paid. And then they don't pay that, and then you want to charge the parents $10 to come watch their son play football, and then you want to have a 2-day tournament. A 2-day tournament, so it's $20 just to go watch your son play football on Saturdays. Now in basketball, it is ridiculous. You better get that weekend pass. I'm starting to see. You know, the weekend pass is the pass to get. You know, trying to be, the weekend pass is it. Now, I ain't speaking too much on basketball. I only been doing a couple basketball games, but I'm seeing that weekend pass is the pass to get. But in football, it shouldn't be. The youth football games cost more than the high school games. Middle school is free. You can show up all day. It's free in middle school. But, we got to change the culture in youth athletics because we're losing a lot of officials. A lot of officials don't even want to officiate the games. Hell, we losing coaches. The older coaches want to stay in the game and coach. Then you got these new coaches out here coming in. I mean, I'm all about the youth. Come on in. We need, making the sport better. But then they coming in with this extra aggression. Hell, don't nobody want to be fighting out there. At the end of the day, man, we got to make it home. And then some coaches need to stop coaching. Some coaches need to stop coaching, bro. Not because, because you got other stuff going on. You're too aggressive. You always got some shit going. And everybody don't want to be fighting because, hell, you might get damn killed to one of the damn games when you get in that parking lot. All that drugging and thugging, don't bring that to the field, man. You might not need to be coaching youth athletics. You just need to be you might need to be a fan in the stands and maybe donate to the cause, sponsoring a team or something like that. Sponsorship might be your best thing for you to do when it comes to these kids, man. You might just be a sponsor and not so much a coach. What else we got going on? What else? We don't talk about the parents, the coaches, the kids. The organizations. We spoke about the organizations. And I know a lot of people out there saying, you forgot about this and that. I probably did, but this is what was on my mind today, talking about the culture of youth athletics, the stuff we got to clean up. It's getting bad out here, man. Some of these games be scary. I done been to a game. It was a good football game at the end. Good. I'm not going to name the organizations. The game was good. It was a good game. I was thinking about moving my son on that team. It was a good game. Certain team won at the end. They stopped the team on the goal line. It was a good goal line stance. It turned out to be a good game. But what happened after the game? The kids run on the sideline. The kids run on the field. Like, yeah, it was good. The kids out there telling them bye. That's different when it's kids. What happened next? Man, the coaches ran on the field with water bottles, squeezing the water bottle, the water going all the way in the air. They out there with the kids telling them the kids saying bye-bye. You got the coaches out there saying bye-bye, bye-bye, squeezing the water bottle. You know, they got the water bottle going high in the air, the water, they squeezing it. I say, man, what the hell are they doing? It's kids, different. It's kids being kids, but you got the coaches acting like kids. Now, the other team, it was a good game. They parents got a little hot when they seen this because it's different when you got kids doing this type stuff. Then you got grown ass men acting like the kids are worse, talking and they was talking shit to the players on the other team, not the parents. All this was being directed at the team that lost. Man, the team was from Winston. Man, them parents seen that and started jumping that gate. I said, oh shit. They started jumping that gate and running. But the Winston coach, they did a good job, man. They was slanging their parents back, slanging their players back, and they got the situation under control. Because the way it was going, if the Winston coaches wouldn't have got that situation under control, it was going to turn out to be something. It was going to get out of hand, totally out of hand. And I praise the coaches because they got their parents in check and they got their kids in check. They got everybody in check and they were able to do the handshake, take their kids on, get in the car and leave. But that one action from the coaches acting like they was the kids, talking to the kids. You the coach, you supposed to be saying, good job, let's go. They running on the field like the kids, water bottles, telling the kids bye, and it almost popped off. And I looked at that situation. My son was with me. And I was like, nah. We can't be on this team. We can't be on this team. Nah, we're not going to play on this team. We're not going to do that because this could have got out of hand. It could have got ugly out here. And over what? A game. Because the coaches couldn't control themselves. So that's my tidbit of the day of things we need to change in the youth sports culture. Make sure you like, subscribe, and share. Hit that like, subscribe, and share button. This is Coach Washington.